What up, players? It's Wall Boss Tay up in this mud. This is part 2 of our 3-part series, How to Paint an Igor, or a Crypt Ghoul. Today we make Igor a blonde bombshell by coloring up the fur and the hair he's got blonde. And then we do the washes, which are a lot of great fun. And then finally we highlight the gray spikes and do a couple of details like painting in the teeth, giving him some white teeth, eyeballs, and painting up his little friend up here. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy and find some kind of inspiration or tip or trick to help you with your Crypt Ghoul painting. And stay tuned for part 3, where we're going to add the blood and gore and do final touches. So thanks for watching, and see you as the video progresses. Alright, let's get started finishing our Igor model. Now, the first thing we're going to do is take some mmmmm brown, and we're going to paint the hairs and the all those little tufts of fur. And I actually did one coat of this, so I'm doing a second one now just to bring the color up a little bit more. The orangey and yeah, I guess it's like kind of orangey color of this mmmmm brown is kind of like a great step, middle step after the dryad bark is just so dark. It's like that the old scorched brown is just so dark that doing this will really give you an interesting looking highlight color to look at. If you want, you can do an additional step where you make the color red or blonde. I might do some blonde. What do you think about being blonde, Igor? Oh, it's always been my dream, master, to be a blonde bombshell. Lewis couldn't believe that I'm painting Igor, so he decided to pop in and watch from off to the side right there. Alright, now we are going to paint on a little bit of some wash. Carroburg Crimson. Now, what made me kind of hesitant about this was because the old Baal Red is just so... the consistency of it, just the amount of pigment, I guess, or just the color makeup of it was such that if you paint it over something that's been washed with ogre flesh, it looked really red and kind of angry looking, whereas this Carroburg Crimson kind of has more of a purplish quality to it. So I was kind of worried and hesitant about it, but then I tried it on some test zombie models and it seemed to work out okay. My old color scheme was basically Deneb Stone, wash with ogre flesh, wash with red, the red wash, and then highlight once dry. So I was worried about recreating it, but it looks like it's pretty good. Yeah, you really, for those of you out there who are going for a more gritty, dark, bloody look without caking on that Tamiya red, if you watch my old video from last year, how to paint a Warhammer zombie, the look that I go for with those guys is very much, you know, that kind of horror movie, underground monster. Like, if you ever saw The Descent, I always bring The Descent up because that's like my classic archetype of, if you look at the makeup design, they're not really zombies, they're like really feral, savage subhumanoids that are living underground in caves. And my paint schemes, my color schemes and stuff for my undead models kind of try to reflect that savage and brutal, and it's not very nice. Although I think you are very nice, Igor. I think you're a good person. Thank you, Master. I think so too, you know. A lot of people just give us the rough deal because they see how bloody hulking and massive and muscular I am, but they don't know that I have a heart and I have feelings. I have two hearts actually, like a space marine. Really? I didn't know you had two hearts. I didn't read about that in the fluff. Well, no, it's not in the fluff. It's more of a modeling thing. How do you mean? I mean, my friend up here, Francis, he's got a heart still trapped in him somewhere. So what comes here is my second heart. See, look at that. Just a little bit of that wash. You don't want to get crazy with your brush. I think I went kind of crazy with the Ogren Flesh wash just because, or the Rakeland Flesh shade. It's because I wanted to get some depth in the recesses. But the thing with this, I was planning on doing like a purple shade on the veins because your models are going to have lots of big bulging veins. But this Carroburg Crimson seems to really do the job for you. It's really nice. Oh, Master, I feel so pretty. Oh, you should, Igor. You're my handsome boy. This is the best day of my life. And you can really choose, you know, you don't have to have this uniform color over the whole model. Oh, shh, doggy, be quiet. If you want some parts to be more red or bloody or just bruised or aggravated than others, you can build up the wash there. Like for example here, look at this, what I'm doing with the hand. I'm leaving the forearm kind of pale, spreading the wash here, putting more of it in between the fingers, and that way you have you know, something interesting to look at. The red over the Ogren Flesh is really going to make it look very bruised and sickly and unhealthy, which is, you know, what we want. You want to really be careful once you get to Igor's beautiful face on where and how much of this wash you put in. But like with every other painting project, any mistakes you made can always be cleaned up later. Let's try though to keep the wash out of his mouth, since we just highlighted his teeth. Yeah. And then these models, like ogres, are a little bit bigger, so you can really plan out. They're bigger than human-sized, you know. So you can really plan out where do you want the shadows to build. I'm gonna start mine down here on his jawline, rather than orcs and goblins that also have very prominent jawlines, but are can you guys see? Igor, focus the camera. You did that joke yesterday, Master. I can't focus nothing because I'm getting paint on my face. Well, excuse me, Mr. Sassy Pants. You can see we're just adding a little bit more. Can really give you a nice shadow where there wasn't one to begin with. Alright, so while that is still kind of drying, now we're going to take our Drutchy Violet. I pronounce it Drew Kai, but somebody at my local store was like, you know it's pronounced Drutchy because Warhammer copies all of their fiction and alliterative tropes from J.R.R. Tolkien, and when I read his book, the way they correctly pronounced in Elven the CHII, and I was like, I don't care, I pronounce it Drew Kai, and most of the people I know on YouTube do the same, so stop talking, nerdy person. You might notice with the washes that you are going to, so I'm just painting in the veins, the very prominent veins with this purple. So you get like a little splotch of unhealthiness there. Yeah, you really see the model coming alive now. I'm not alive. I know. And if you mess up on any of the shades, like I was saying, you can just leave it for now, because later you can, like if you get shade on the bones, like over here, then later that's a piece of the model I'm going to cover with Tamiya red. Master, you're going to let me have some Tamiya red? Of course I am, Igor. I'm so happy. Now, even if there's no veins, you want to paint a little bit of this violet onto the spinal column, just because it is really bruised and should have that kind of Frankenstein-y monster color. The purple is pretty much, you have free reign to just kind of pick splotches, pick places where you can have the purple, and it'll make it look good. Okay, next we're going to start building up that blonde, beautiful blonde hair. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take XV88, we're going to start highlighting up the Mornfang brown that we just done. So this is pretty much going to be what we've done before. If you've watched my how to paint blonde hair tutorial, I'm just switching it to use the new colors. And I've already started, because I had to double check to make sure XV88 was the one I wanted. And it is, so it's like comparable to the old snakebite leather, and it's a base color, so that is good, because it will definitely help us in just a second. And you want to get your Rakarth flesh ready, because what you're going to do now is take a little bit of Rakarth flesh and snakebite 88, and mix those two together in your wet palette. And you have kind of a really light mustardy color. And this is great because you can do this while the wash everywhere else on the model is drying. And remember, each step you're just kind of slightly going over what you did last. Try to leave the darker colors there somewhere. Oop. Need to get it a little bit closer for this. Master, is it true what they say? What do they say? Well, they say that blondes have more fun. Have you been watching online videos? Well, I'm not at my computer, Igor. Oh, no, of course not. Then who did you hear that from? A cat. I wouldn't know. I am not blonde. It's all I really want, you know. What do you really want, Igor? It's all I really want. Just to have a little bit of fun. Giant ghouls just wanna have fun. Alright, shut up. Just wanna... Shut up. Just want... Shut up. Alright. Igor, you are going to be the cutest crypt horror on the block. Look at that face! Oh, look at that face! Look at his beautiful, luxurious blonde hair. And you just keep adding more Rakarth flesh till you get, you know, the effect that you want. The last thing you're gonna do when you don't want to go any higher, you don't want to highlight anymore, is you're going to take some sepia. Oh, there we go. Igor, I cannot wait until you are done being painted. Organize these paints. Okay, I think it's called Seraphim Sepia. The new thing is called Seraphim Sepia, but I'm going to use the old one just because I have a little bit left in this old bottle, this Griffin Sepia. So you're going to use this, and you're just basically pretty much going to just paint it into the blonde hair. And the sepia has a yellowish kind of color that's going to, or not, I don't want to say yellow, maybe like cream kind of color that's really going to tie the highlights together, the highlights that you just did. Alright, now we're going to start painting up the teeth a little bit more. Oh, also, I started highlighting up the corpse on the top with a little bit of Cadian flesh tone mixed in with Rakarth flesh. As you can see, Rakarth flesh is really our go-to color. It's our base, and all of the shades, all of the highlights, all of the different color tones that we're using is kind of an extension of that color. So even when we're painting the flesh on, or the rotting, decaying, mangled flesh on this corpse up here, his name's Jonathan. I thought you said his name was Philip. I don't know. Do you mean to tell me that you do not know the name of the person you've been carrying on your back for the past how many months since I've known you, Igor? Well, it's not like he talks to me. He just kind of sits up there, making that face. Alright. So once we've got his skin painted, we are going to try and do a little bit more with the skin before we add in all that crazy blood effects. We're going to go the opposite direction now. We're going to take some pallid witch flesh, and actually while we have the pallid witch flesh, let's give Igor a little bit of professional teeth whitening. just because the rack flesh by itself is not going to stick out because there's so much bone all over. Now you could go the opposite direction and darken his teeth as well, but I think highlighting, making them light is the way to go. Okay, now we're going to, actually before we do that, let's get into that mouth. Known oil. We're just going to put a little bit of this in the mouth to make it dark. There we go. And while we have some known oil on our brush, let's also shade in the eyes. And be careful with the eyes because he's got little beady piggy eyes. Hey! And when we start painting his actual eyeballs in, once this wash dries, we don't want to be putting too much white paint where it's not supposed to be. What I mean is on the saggy, baggy eye part. Hey! Sorry. It's not my fault I don't get much sleep, you know, most. Okay. Now we're going to be taking some corn red and painting in various open, bloody guts and sores. I remember in the old paint range, you would need this, you would need the gloss varnish, I guess even in this paint range, but now with Tamiya Red, it's like amazing what you can do now. So I painted in the intestines, this little ripped open gash looking thing, and I'm just gonna give a little bit to where the arms have been ripped off, just because we're gonna let our clear red, our Tamiya clear red, do all the work. This is just as a color underneath. Oh, also messed up here. There we go. And up in where the spine is ripped open. Pretty much it's wherever you want. And your model might not even have that, so that's only if you do have this part in your model. Okay. Next, we're going to take our pallid witch flesh one more time. We're going to paint in Jonathan's eyeball. And if the known black is ready and dried, then we'll do Igor's. That known black looks just about ready. So do a test run. Really thin, and I'm doing like a horizontal slash. So with all my eyeball painting, you want to just get a little bit of paint. There. And on this side. There. That wasn't so bad, right? Now you can see Igor. Ooh, I would love it if they had like long, lanky hair. And like, what's the guy's name in Rocky Horror? The guy in the butler outfit. Riff Raff. Yeah. If you had hair like Riff Raff, that would be cool. Okay, now we're gonna take... Oop, time to change film. Okay, I really apologize if my hand, you know, goes, or if the model goes out of frame or whatever. Yeah, I'm just really focusing on Igor, as you should. So now we're gonna take Abaddon Black and we're gonna do pupils. So really take your finest tipped brush and really get only a little sliver of paint on the very end. And as carefully as possible, do a up and down motion on the eyes. I'm an expert at the up and down motion. Lewis. Not appropriate. See, oh, we even got a little bit of Jonathan's eye there. Creepy. And how old are you, Igor? 17. I thought so, because you have very prolific acne. What I'm doing is I'm taking corn red and I am adding some water to it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to wash all of these big pimples he's got all over his body. My dermatologist says that it's genetic. Igor, you don't know what you just said. Sure I do. I said my pharmacologist says that it's frenetic. You're watching late night infomercials on Propecia again, aren't you? Maybe. Now some of these are bony protrusions, so you can leave those alone. So just decide which ones you want to be like pimples, pustules and all that, and which ones are just, you know, side effects of whatever foul magic brought him to life. Red does not want to stay right here. Okay, then when you're done, you're going to water down some Rakarth flesh and just highlight the tips. Of each of the little pimples that you just painted. So like I did these on his face. Boop. This one right here on his shoulder. What that does is it creates that whitehead effect. See, look at the one right here on his arms. I'm so ashamed of my acne. That's alright. You're still a pretty boy. Alright. Now, what are we going to do now? We have some Dawnstone that we are going to use to highlight up the spikes. I can't wait to show all my friends my new paint job, master. This really is a Christmas miracle. How do you know what Christmas is? Oh, I seen it on Hulu. Aha! Oh! You tricked me. Oh. Igor. I keep calling you Lewis. Igor. Yes? Because I've made you wait so long for this paint job, you can watch Hulu anytime you like. Hooray! As long as I'm asleep. And I think you call me Lewis sometimes because we're practically twins, he and I. And now with my new paint job, I can give him a little bit of competition when we go to the clubs. Maybe I can try some of my new pickup lines on the ladies. In fact, I was thinking maybe I could test out some of them for you in the YouTube audience right now. Oh. And that, as they say, is that. Our Lewis is just about, our Igor is just about painted up. Igor, I'm very happy with the paint job. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to paint these straps. So, we are going to paint them in XV88, snakebite leather. Now, unlike other models like the Empire, High Elves, Dwarves, there's no spot color. Well, I guess if you don't count the grays, there's no real color that is any different from this kind of bone, Rakarth flesh kind of color we're going for. And that is because the reds of the blood and the gore that we're going to add will really make it stand out. Igor, is this the club? Is this the club that you use to beat people up? No, it's my friendly playing with cats club. I use it when I play with cats. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to add the Tamiya red. So, let's do that. Actually, you know what? This is getting to be a pretty lengthy video, so I'm going to cut it here. Oh, and I'm going to let all this dry and upload this video, and then I'll do the basing, and then the last, very, very last video, part 3, is going to be when we slather Igor here in some Tamiya red. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, and like and subscribe and do all that stuff. And what do you say, Lewis? Get off my lawn!